you got to do something with Jimmy. And I've been saying you got to cut him, you got to trade him. Trading him is going to be tough. No one wants that contract. Cutting him is kind of controversial too because he's popular in the locker room and he's won on this team. It seems that there should be a middle ground here. They can renegotiate his deal. They could say, look, man, you're here. We got you for 2 more years. We can keep you here against your will for 2 more years. Now we give you a lot of money, but you're not worth this. If we were to cut you, no team would give you more than $10 million. He's worth $10 million a year, I would say. If the Niners could say, look, let's renegotiate your deal and take that 2 million, the 2 years, 50 million, forget that. You're never going to get 2 years, 50 million. We'll give you 1 year, 10 million. And so we'll let you out of your contract a year early and we'll promise we won't franchise tag you. You can leave. This is something the Niners did with Colin Kaepernick in 2016. He had 4 years on his deal. They brought it down to 2 with a player option, and then he used it, and he's never played again. So there's precedent. What do you think renegotiating Jimmy Garoppolo's contract down to $10 million and saving $17 million in cap space?
I don't think that he will agree the terms with that new deal right now. I think that he understands that he has to play this season, and right now I don't see a team who will sign him as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And Jimmy is a smart guy. I'm not saying that he is smart like, I don't know, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but he is smart enough to know that if he doesn't play this season, he won't play in the NFL in the future as a starting quarterback. And I still think that he wants to be a starting quarterback. That's why there were rumors that he is more motivated than ever, that he built up his muscles during the off season. Well, as I see it right now, Kyle and John wants Jimmy to have some value because I still think that they want to trade him. I'm not necessarily thinking that they are thinking of a pay cut of Jimmy Garoppolo, although that could be a great answer for this problem, for this money problem that the team has right now. So what I see right now is Jimmy gets what he wants with that huge amount of money. And if we are lucky, we can trade him during the season before trade deadline. Because what I think of right now, okay, we don't have a complete roster yet. I'm not necessarily thinking that we will be in the playoffs with this roster right now at the current state with these injuries that is happening constantly with this team. So I'm still thinking of it that they will keep Jimmy Garoppolo. They want Jimmy to stay motivated. That's why they won't try to cut his payments during the season. And after he delivers some great matches, they will try to trade him, because what I think of is there will be injuries during the season, and before the trade deadline, if we can trade him, we can add some value for those players who are injured, in the place of those players who are injured during the season.
I don't think anyone's trading for Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. $27 million with the pandemic lowering the cap space this year. I think it's unmovable, the contract. I think what they should do to Jimmy is sit him down and look and say this. I know you don't want to take a pay cut, but you're not worth $27 million in 2021. You're not. You know it. If we were to cut you right now, some team would give you a 1-year, $10 million deal. A prove-it deal. You haven't been good enough. You haven't been durable enough. That's your value. So we could cut you, and you could go God knows where for 1 year, $10 million. Some team that's really not committed to you, or you could take it here, help the team, be a leader, and leave next year. Be on a team that you know, in an offense that you know. We're not saying you're not going to play. You could beat out Trey Lance, but you can't play for $27 million. And if you want us to cut you, we'll do that. And you can go get $10 million somewhere else. It's basically your choice is, where do you want to get $10 million this year? Here on a team that you know, on a good team that could go to the Super Bowl, or in Houston, or, somewhere else, Denver. What do you want to do?
Okay. Let's rotate the question with 180 degrees. Quarterback of a contender team injures during the season. Jimmy Garoppolo still doesn't worth his contract for a trade.
There's just not that many teams that have the cap space to take on $27 million.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because like it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
there's
I
there-
understand. I
yeah
understand.
there's not that big prorated bonus, so that a team would
Yeah.
have to take on like 23 plus million. I don't think there's that many teams that can do it. Now you could extend his deal and renegotiate it, but how many teams want to give Jimmy Garoppolo a 4-year deal right now? I don't know. I think the Niners have leverage here, Botond. I really do. I think they could say, "Look, man, we could just cut you. We're this close. We can't afford you. And if we cut you, here's probably what you're going to make elsewhere. So why don't we just give you that? And we'll let you out of the contract early. You can go wherever the hell you want to go next year. Or if you want to go right now, fine. Because we have a lot, we have plans for the money we could save. We have other people we want to sign.
Okay, but some other team can reconstruct his contract after the trade.
Okay.
That's an option too. I don't know what you think
What if
of
he
it,
gets beat out by Trey Lance and he's the backup? You're not trading him.
Well,
and now you got all that money. That's another problem. You have Trey Lance is going to make about $6 million this year. Jimmy's making 27. So that's 33 at a position you can only play one guy at a time. It's too much. If Jimmy was making 10 and Trey was making 6, keep them both on the team. Play them. I mean, whoever wins. It doesn't matter. I think he needs to, for the good of the team, however you want to think about it, Jimmy, the Niners have given you $90 million for like 30 games. Take a pay cut, dude. They've given you $90 million. You're not worth 27 anymore. For the good of the team, for the good of the franchise, be a good guy. Give some money back. You know you're not worth that money. You're hurting your team taking that money. This is what I would say to Jimmy if I were in the negotiating room. He may not go for it.
But sadly, we are not there. But sadly, we are not there.
The coach says you can't squeeze blood from a turnip. If Jimmy doesn't want to negotiate, that's a tough sell. It's too soon to see if Jimmy would get scooped up. Okay. Yep, people could get hurt. He could have a market. Jeremy says, I feel like Jimmy is McGlinchey's replacement on Grant's blacklist. Hello, come on, Grant. No more rid of Jimmy narrative until after the training camp, please. I'm just trying to get him to renegotiate his deal. I'm trying to get 17 million in cap space. I don't see why he would be against this. I mean, it's the right thing to do. The Niners have given him a ton of money. He can't act like they wronged him. They set him up for life. His entire family tree for the generations. Chris says, could someone trade then restructure his contract? I think they'll play him till trade deadline, then move him. Yes, someone could do that, but who's going to do that? Maybe New England. They just drafted a quarterback. Who's going to do that? And then I'm saying if he gets hurt, here's the thing with the Niners and why I feel like they're in a very precarious position. 14 million in dead cap right now, plus the 8.9 from D Ford is 24 or whatever, and then 23. And then when Jimmy gets hurt, which he most likely will, that's what he does. Then that's 49 million in dead cap space essentially, and you're screwed. Now you're screwed.
Yeah.
So you can't let Jimmy play and get hurt. The season's over if he plays and gets hurt. So renegotiate now, trade him now. Him going out there and playing on that cap number is just so scary to me. I don't think as soon as he gets hurt, your season's over. He's too expensive.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. Sad, but true.
It's sad, but true. And again, Jimmy on a 1-year, $10 million contract is good business. I think he's worth that. I'd take him. So I don't know, Jimmy. Do it for me. Do it for Botond. Do it for the good of the team, the good of the city. Re-sign Warner. Yeah, do that too. I don't know how else to say re-sign Warner every week.